What if I told you that some of our most advanced modern technologies might just be echoes of a forgotten past? Imagine a world where ancient civilizations possessed knowledge that could rival our own, only for it to be lost to time. Today, we're diving into the fascinating question: what if lost ancient technology suddenly Let's start with a classic mystery, the Antikythera Mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of a Greek island, this intricate device from the 2nd century BC is often called the world's first analog computer. It could predict astronomical positions and eclipses for decades in advance. For centuries, nothing as complex was known to exist. Now, imagine archaeologists uncover a fully intact library of these devices, each more advanced than the last. What would that mean? Suddenly, our entire timeline of technological progress gets a rewrite. It would prove that sophisticated engineering isn't just a modern marvel, but a cyclical phenomenon, a flame that has been lit, extinguished, and relit throughout human history. The rediscovery wouldn't just be an academic curiosity. It could inspire a new generation of mechanical engineers to create non-digital devices for a world increasingly wary of digital vulnerabilities. Next, let's talk about power. The Baghdad Battery, a set of terracotta pots from ancient Mesopotamia containing iron rods and copper cylinders, has puzzled historians for years. While its exact purpose is debated, many believe it could have generated a small electrical charge, possibly for electroplating gold onto other metals. It's a simple concept, but what if it was just the prototype? Imagine we unearth an entire ancient power grid based on a similar, but far more powerful, principle. Maybe they harnessed geothermal energy, or discovered a form of bioelectricity we haven't even conceived of. If we could reverse engineer this clean, sustainable energy source, it would completely revolutionize our world. Our dependence on fossil fuels could end overnight. The entire global economy and geopolitical landscape would shift, creating a future powered by the wisdom of the distant past. It would be the ultimate green energy solution, gifted to us from antiquity. Let's move on to construction. How were the Great Pyramids built? How were massive stone blocks at sites like Puma Punku in Bolivia cut with such laser-like precision? Mainstream theories talk about ramps and immense manpower, but many mysteries remain. What if the ancients had a lost technique for manipulating matter itself? Perhaps a form of acoustic levitation, using specific sound frequencies to lift and move colossal objects with ease. Sounds like science fiction, right? But if we were to find an artifact, a device that could replicate this effect, the implications would be staggering. Construction would become effortless. We could build entire cities in weeks, create structures previously thought impossible, and even begin colonizing other planets with much greater ease. Our architectural and engineering limitations would simply dissolve. We could erect disaster-proof housing in vulnerable areas and build infrastructure on a scale that's currently unimaginable, all thanks to rediscovering a sonic master key to gravity. And what about medicine? The Edwin Smith Papyrus from ancient Egypt shows a surprisingly sophisticated understanding of anatomy and surgical procedures. But what if their knowledge went deeper, into realms we're only just beginning to explore? Imagine discovering ancient texts that detail a complete understanding of the human genome, or botanical recipes for compounds that can cure diseases we still struggle with today, like cancer or Alzheimer's. Perhaps they understood regenerative medicine, using specific herbs or vibrational therapies to regrow limbs or repair damaged organs. The re-emergence of this lost medical knowledge would be the single greatest leap in human health in history. Life expectancies could skyrocket, and suffering from countless ailments would become a thing of the past. It would force a complete re-evaluation of modern medicine, blending ancient wisdom with contemporary technology to create a new paradigm of healing. Now, let's consider the social and cultural impact. The rediscovery of such powerful technologies wouldn't be without its challenges. Who would own this ancient knowledge? Would it be shared freely with all of humanity, or would it be weaponized by nations or corporations, creating a new, unprecedented gap between the haves and the have-nots? Imagine a world where one country has the secret to limitless energy, while others are still struggling. The potential for conflict would be immense. It would force us to confront some of the biggest ethical questions of our time. Would we use these gifts from the past to unite and elevate our species? Or would we repeat the same mistakes of greed and power that may have led to these technologies being lost in the first place? It's a powerful thought. The technology itself is neutral. Its impact would depend entirely on our own wisdom and maturity as a species. This brings us to a mind-bending possibility. What if this technology wasn't just lost, but deliberately hidden? Perhaps an ancient civilization became so advanced that they foresaw a great cataclysm. Or maybe they realized their own power was too dangerous to wield. In an act of ultimate foresight, they could have created time capsules or hidden vaults of knowledge, designed to be discovered only when humanity reached a certain level of maturity. Our current archaeological finds, might be the breadcrumbs they left behind, leading us on a global scavenger hunt for their ultimate legacy. The rediscovery wouldn't be an accident, but a carefully orchestrated inheritance. This idea adds a whole new layer to the narrative of human history, suggesting we are part of a much grander, longer-term plan set in motion by our own ancestors. Think about the impact on our own identity. We often see ourselves as the pinnacle of human achievement, the most advanced civilization to ever exist. The return of forgotten technologies would shatter that perception. It would humble us, showing us that we are not the first to walk this path, and perhaps not even the most brilliant. It would connect us to our ancestors in a deeply profound way, revealing them not as primitive people, but as intellectual giants whose shoulders we stand on. This newfound humility could be the greatest gift of all. It might inspire a new renaissance of curiosity and collaboration, as we realize that the most profound secrets of the universe might not lie in the future, but buried deep within our own forgotten history. The idea of lost ancient technology resurfacing is more than just a fun thought experiment. It is a reminder that history is full of mysteries, and that our understanding of the past is constantly evolving. It encourages us to look at ancient myths and legends with fresh eyes, not as fanciful stories, but as possible fragmented memories of a time when humanity achieved the impossible. So the next time you look at a modern marvel, take a moment to wonder, are we truly the first to invent this, or are we just rediscovering the forgotten futures of our own past? Thanks so much for exploring this journey through time with me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world's greatest mysteries. What lost technology do you think would change the world most? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.